Welcome back to another Alliance War video. This is for Loki versus MiBr. And we have Ghost, APOC, and Falcon Band. And this war, there were some fights on the map that I actually took in a different war and I died. So when I saw the map, I was like, oh, great. Assignments were laid out and I wasn't set to take this one specific fight here where I died before, but it just didn't work out with the original assignment, so I said I'll just jump and take it. And so the plan is basically the same as last time, except this time not to miss a parry and get hit in the face. I am using an invulnerability boost this time because if I do get smacked in the face, I want to make sure I don't lose all of my health. And so this war was one of those wars where you're fighting and things, you know, you got things on your mind about, like, obviously a previous war and you don't want to mess up and stuff like that. And you'll see it kind of like snowball. You know, it's like I get smacked around. My item usage was basically really high here. So the thought process here basically is just to parry heavy. I'm going to shred the heal block debuff whenever it will apply, and I'm just building up to my SP3 and 100 charges. I'm not worried about the debuffs at all. There's no insult to injury, and ideally I want to push her to a SP2, but I'm just kind of building. And here she throws a special right into my block, and I take quite a bit of chip damage, and I'm like, it's okay, just, you know, the bleeds will fall off and I can just SP3, and that's fine. I did want a heavy charge there though, because I'm not ramped, so I'm not going to do much damage, but I am fully boosted, and I SP3 cycle here, and I'm pretty much, the fight's over. So the next fight that we have is Kraven on path 4, and this is the node where it has insult to injury. You start with a heal block debuff, and you'll get more debuffs the closer you are. So the thought process is to use White Magneto, use a White Magneto pre-fight, so I'm able to parry him without him shortening the stun, and basically just try to stay away from him so I don't build too many debuffs as the fight goes on. And you'll see that after I parry, he dashes back the first time, so I don't dash back because I'm keeping the spacing there. But the second one, I am moving away from him. I want to keep that distance so I don't get any further debuffs. I basically want to be able to parry. But when I'm at my SP2, or when I'm close to pushing him to his SP2, I do a full combo, because I will take the fatigue. And push him to a SP2 because I can block that. So there I 4-hit, hold block, and push him to a yellow bar. And here I just want to dex this. Shout out to EOP for making me learn how to dex this. And here I want to stay away from him. I'm going to get another parry off, and I am at yellow. So I'm going to throw my SP2 with 4 prowess, it looks like, and it does an 85k crit. So super safe for White Magneto. If I do get clipped, he's bleed immune. Now this fight I was not worried about. I'm taking this plenty of times with Cap, and it just kind of relies on her throwing her special ones a little more frequently. Usually when you knock her down in the corner, she'll get up and throw them. But the prowess buildup is really something to look for here, and you'll see why Cap is just a beast. So I'm getting, very heavy, and here at this point, I'm doing fine, doing damage, and here I would like her to throw her special one, but it doesn't. She doesn't. She throws a heavy coming out of the knockdown, and she's building up prowess, and now I'm like, oh man, because she throws this. Okay, take that on the block, perfectly fine, and I'll parry heavy here, and I'm looking to basically get out of this fight, but she's building lots of prowess, and she throws another heavy, and I'm just like, man. So I'll push her to an SP2 here, and I'm thinking I'll just tank it, right? And boom, my indestructible and my glancing, and I lose a chunk of my health. So at this point I'm like, get this SP2 off, and it doesn't crit, and now she has a 3%, and I'm like, I think that one heavy will just end it. So I cannot take another special in the block at all. So that was that fight. Now that fight kind of got me a little flustered, and this fight was a split assignment between me and a kitty user. Shout out to Andrew. And he asked if I would take it, and I can take it. I've taken this before. However, in the previous fight, Fury, you know, when I was baiting, when I was holding block after a 4-hit combo, I'm trying to push him yellow. He threw heavies just like he did right there, right? So the plan is to basically push him yellow, then parry heavy, and build my charges that way. I'm gonna throw my special 2 just for damage, and to dump my power, because I want to get his first life down, you know, sooner than later. And as I'm building bubble shield charges, I am basically lowering my block proficiency as well. So, you know, it's not ideal. And then he throws more special ones in this fight. So right now it's fine. You know, I'm not, you know, not doing too badly. But he throws another special one, and then I lose my indestructible, and again, bubble shield charges are there. So I'm like, okay, I need to basically kill his first life, and then get back to, you know, get back to stuff. And here I probably should have thrown my special 2. I am mutant boosted, so at least with 1 prowess, I would have got some power back. Now looking back on this, I will remember this for next time. So I'm at 70%, and I'm like, okay, I'm at 70%, and I'm at 30 bubble shield charges, and I'm just like, I need to get him dead, just because each block hit now is doing about 1k through the block. So right here I'm in good shape. He throws this, and I'm like, all right, just keep, you know, keep doing what I'm doing. And here I did end it with a medium to push him yellow, and I'm like, okay, and I get rooted. So because I get rooted, I take all this block damage, and I'm just like, so I'm like, come on now, like, I just need you to. And he throws this. Luckily I dex out of the bubble shield, because all of that just hurt, and I'm just like, man, and I need to get him down. I am super low on health at this point. And I don't want him to throw the special one, so I'm not even going to heavy charge. I'm just going to wait till he degens a bit, and then get out of it and let my SB3 spam get me out of this fight. Not my cleanest fight at all. And looking back on it, I really think I could have just played this better. But ultimately, a solo is a solo, as they say, right? So what really kind of got me flustered at this point was that I'll be using X for a few more fights, including the boss. So my item usage is what's really getting to me, because Cap is low, and I need him for one more fight against a huge cow, and then X is now low. So I'm like, okay, I have to manage this, and I'm really just hoping that the SP3 spams does stick, because sometimes it doesn't, right? But it's enough to kill him. So my next fight is a kitty fight on path 5. I'm splitting that path with somebody, and this is the second fight that I'm taking where I died in a previous war this season. And I wasn't worried. Usually I heavy counter kitty all day every day just to build my charges, but for whatever reason I'm not currently comfortable doing that. So I was just like, you know, wait the 10 seconds out, and then I can use my SB or my falter to heavy charge to get my vigilance. My vigilance is what really is going to protect me in this scenario. So at this point, it's just about, you know, pushing her to SB1, baiting it, not getting cornered, and then just throwing my my special 3 rotation with the intercept on. Now, the node is currently bugged, so right there, oh my god, like, she was phased, and I literally threw a heavy into her face, so like a noob. But the node is currently bugged. I didn't need a protection to be down to throw my SB3 spam. So I definitely could have. Here I'm just beating her block. I just want to push her over a bar, saying control spacing, so I don't want to get too cornered. So any opportunities she gets me to hit her block, I'm going to take it. And here I'm heavy charging since I have my falter up. I do get my my indestructible. I could have probably thrown this at this point. And she would have, it would have been a substantial amount of damage, but I'm playing it super safe. Again, I don't want to die to this fight again. I've taken this plenty of times, and it's not anything I ever really worry about. So here I parry heavy to get, you know, and I get the intercept, and at this point I'm like, alright, I'm safe, I can heavy charge, and I lost 41% of my health in that fight. Again, I'm thinking about item usage, and I'm just like, So, at this point I'm boosted, but my lane partner is, you know, about to take the Galen that's up next. But then I have a cow, but the person who's going to clear me to get to my last 2 fights after the cow is not available, so I'm like, sweet. I'm going to let my boost fall off so I can heal and then reboost, because when you're boosted and you heal, you have more health, so the 9k pots don't heal as much, and that way when they fall off, I can get to 100%, then reboost and increase my health that way. So with this cow, I've taken it with Cap a few times and just about lining up the intercept with the cow and doing damage. But since the node is bugged, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus so much on that. I'm going to throw my special 3, throw some science boosts on to help with that, and then do some damage that way and see how it works. So I just got to build up to my special 3 with kinetic charges. Then it's just about managing his power with his power gain off my decks. So I'm doing parry heavy. I get a quick intercept there. And I'm like, alright, you know, what I should have done here is actually block all this. This is what I realized later in the fight, and I still didn't do a very good job of doing that. But I definitely want to block his SB1s because I'm going to build kinetic charges versus parrying. Because while I'm baiting his specials, I'm losing my kinetic charges. So when he throws this, I should be blocking it. Right there, I should have stayed blocked, and he could have hit my block, and I could have built kinetic charges that way. But it's all good. At this point, I'm just like, okay, you know what? He just can't be over 10. I don't want him being unblockable with his specials ever. It goes kind of hand in hand with how Cap wants to play him anyways. And so there, I do try to block some of it. I'm like, you know what? I should have tried to go for intercept right there, but I didn't feel it. So there I block it, and I'm like, alright, build my charges. I'm going to parry heavy here, and I'm going to get to my special 3, and I eat. My indestructible is now gone, so I'm just like, you know what? I got my charges, and I'm a little bit of my fury left. I'm going to do this, and it does about 20% damage. So I'm like, okay, that's not horrible. I'm at 3, you know, about a minute and a half into the fight, and he's almost halfway. So that's not a bad sign. And here I'm just going to stick to the plan and see how it goes. So I am going to get an SP2 off here shortly. And as soon as he throws this, yes. But my kinetic charges are not ramped. So I think I get an intercept here, and then I try parrying a few times. And yeah, I let him throw this, but I don't parry heavy. I'm afraid of losing my fury, so I just kind of throw it, and he does not crit. 27k. It's like the cow, when I can crit big against the cow, but when I don't, it's really hampered. So I did get quite a bit of power back from that though, so that's alright. You know, halfway through the fight at this point, and he's at 34%. At this point, I'm thinking I'm gonna go SP3 to finish him. Just, you know, dex his specials, and I should be fine. And you know, block his SB1s for kinetic charges. I'm gonna throw, you know, he's gonna throw this. I hit his block right there to buy out the neutralize. So if I have the dex, it's not neutralized, and he doesn't power gain. So here, I throw my SB3 with 24% left, and it's all she wrote for this cow. So long fight, but ultimately safe. I can do it with a node not being bugged, but it's fine. So the next fight is I have Spider-Ham on 55. He's a global attacker. The thought process here basically is to not parry, because I don't want to get Disorient on me, because that's going to eat a lot of block damage. So I'm going to basically just attack him. And typically you don't want him you want to throw your special one so he doesn't build nonsense charges. But if he can't evade, then he can't really do much with those nonsense charges. So here I'm just going to beta heavy and kind of kill time. I know brute force is there, but I really want to get my falter up and then use it to get my vigilance. But then he goes super passive and does nothing, and I'm ticking for 1k a tick, so 2k a second, and I'm just like, did I really just lose all that health because of that? But ultimately the fight is under control now. I'm gonna heavy counter his SB1, and then just, you know, not parry and push him to an SB1, heavy counter it to ramp up. I'm at 99 charges. I hate when I'm at 99 charges because it just doesn't, it's like I don't have my SB1. But I'm going to heavy counter again right here, and at this point I get a quick intercept, and I'm gonna heavy charge into my special 3, and the fight is over. So what was weird about this is I do a substantial amount of health, but it doesn't kick me to my special 3, which is really weird. I don't know why that happened. Maybe I had a taunt on me. I don't think I saw it, but either way. Now we have the boss fight. And obviously this war's gone, you know, up and down for me. I haven't died, but just, you know, just been kind of erratic with my gameplay. But this Knull I've taken quite a few times this season. So the thought process is to I throw max recoil on, PS1 boost, and don't get cornered at the beginning. Just dex out a few times, then hit his block, hit another dex, and just when I get to 6, I'll be debuff immune, and then he's not unblockable. After that, I can actually hold block, and the detox charges will remove the abyss that he places on me, so it goes hand in hand. So he's under a bar of power. I'm gonna use my falter to ramp up right there, and now the thought process is to push him to an SB2 as my sig naturally takes me to 75 charges, and then dex the SB2 and use my falter when it comes back to ramp fully to 100. So this is where I dex it, and I can fully dex this, but once I have spacing in the boss fight, I just use it to my advantage, and I just block the rest. I don't want to get clipped off it at all. The block gives me detox charges, so I'm just safe there. But here I'll heavy charge, into my special 3, and the fight is essentially over. So super easy and clean Knull fight. The war did have some major item usage for me, but at this point I'm just, you know, I'm very leery of my SB3 sticking with the spam, because against Spider-Ham it didn't it kicked me to a special 2, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, it was there. If not, I was telling myself, look, if I do happen to lose my my loop, I can just re-ramp. This fight is very early on to get to that SB3 again or SB2. It'll be easy, and I can end the fight just with regular. I don't have to do this special 3 spam to kill Knull. It just makes it super safe. I can kill him without it. But that's ultimately my war. We are losing this war as of right now. Unfortunately, we had some ill-timed deaths. It's just one of those wars where things go when things go bad, and I kind of felt that in my fights, and I saw it across the alliance, which was probably adding to the stress level of taking my fights. But I was happy with the Knull kill, and then rewatching the Spider-Ham, I was actually happy with that fight as well. So let's take a look at the stats of this war now. And here are the final stats. We did end up losing this war, unfortunately. We had a rough war. Shout out to BMXG, PWF, and myself. We got MVPs. GG's to MiBr. And on to the next war. We have 2 wars left in the season, so hopefully we close out strong.